Do you feel the weight of this silence that now fills your room? Perhaps you've spent the whole day surrounded by voices, noises, demands, but upon closing the door, the feeling of being completely alone was all that remained. I saw you take a deep breath, trying to hold back a tear that insisted on falling as you stared at the emptiness of the kitchen. But today, I stopped everything you were doing because the moment has come for you to open your eyes. I will show you who is truly on your side, and I'm not talking about shadows or fleeting presences, but the truth that the world tried to hide from you. If you've come this far, know that it wasn't an algorithm or chance that brought you here. It was my whisper disturbing your soul so that you could finally see what the scales of pain have blinded you to for so long. Many times, you sought support in hands that let go and sought shelter in hearts that closed when you needed it most. You wonder if there's anyone who truly sees your struggle, who understands your weariness and who stays when the lights go out. Like I did with Elisha's servant, when he trembled with fear before the enemy army, I'm about to touch your spiritual vision so that you may see that those who are with us are far more numerous. I will lead you on a path of revelation where every mask will fall and every invisible protection will be revealed. Before we move forward on this journey of healing, open your heart to me. If this word is already burning in your chest, tell me below what your name is, where in this world you are listening to me from, and what time the clock shows there now. I want you to feel that this is our appointed meeting, and, like a cry that springs from the depths of your soul, record this outpouring. Lord my God, I am here. I subscribe to this channel because I love you and want to hear you above any other voice. Stay with me until the last second of this message. I promise you I will give you a clear answer to that question that kept you awake last night. There is a specific phrase I will whisper in your ear at the end, and whoever writes it in the comments will feel the weight of my prophetic blessings being released upon their home. Prepare yourself, for the awakening to the invisible truth is only beginning, and what I will show you now will change the way you see your own life. But there is something you haven't yet realized about the people around you today, something I have begun to silently remove. I saw when your heart ached as you realized that the silence of those people wasn't due to a lack of time, but a lack of importance. How many times have you felt the coldness of the kitchen tiles on the soles of your feet late at night, while staring at the blue glow of your cell phone waiting for a message that never arrived? You gave of yourself, you extended your hand when theirs were empty, and now that your sky seems grey, you look around and see only emptiness. I allowed that weight to settle in. I allowed the masks to fall one by one until the sound of the falls echoed in your wounded soul. It wasn't to punish you, my daughter, but to free you from banquets where the main course was your own energy. The weight of human disappointments is like a leaden burden you carry trying to maintain appearances, but I know the truth behind your tired smile. I saw every tear you swallowed so as not to show weakness before those who only wanted to see you fall. The silence I imposed around you was the filter I used to separate the wheat from the chaff in the garden of your heart. For it is written in Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 10, I the Lord search the heart and examine the mind, to reward each person according to their conduct, according to what their deeds deserve. If I removed someone from your side, it was because what I have to give you requires clean hands, and people who know the value of your covenant. Observe well the gaps that remain in your life. These are not holes of abandonment. They are spaces that I am clearing so that something new and sacred can finally flourish. Sometimes, the greatest deliverance I give you is not pulling you out of the pit, but removing from your table the one who would help you fall into it. Take a deep breath now. Let this pain of betrayal or forgetfulness be washed away by my presence, which never fails. If you feel the scales falling and you are finally beginning to see clearly who is who, let that feeling flow. If this truth has touched your soul like this message as a sign that you accept my cleansing, what do you feel you need to leave behind today? Tell me honestly, and write here in the comments the word of your liberation, revelation. But don't think that emptiness will be your final destination in this story. While the chairs at your table are emptying of men, they are being occupied by something that your natural eyes cannot yet perceive. There is a sentinel posted right now at your door, and what it guards is something you never dared to ask for in prayer. At this very moment, when the curtains of understanding open, and you finally perceive my care in every invisible detail, your heart begins to beat to a new rhythm of hope. You understand that every door that slammed shut was my strong arm protecting you from an abyss, and every painful departure of someone you loved was my hand gently guiding you to a place of profound peace. Now, as you feel this relief that invades your soul like a gentle breeze after the storm, I invite you to a gesture of surrender and pure recognition for all that we have experienced together on this spiritual journey. If it is possible for you, only if it is the most sincere desire of your soul, transform this feeling of gratitude into a living seed of love through this channel. Consider my unconditional love and the eternal sacrifice of my Son Jesus, and contribute using the path I have prepared for you through the link in the description of this video and in the first pinned comment. There, you will find the sacred place where your offering of love can be deposited and consecrated before me, the Creator of all things. You can contribute any amount. If you wish to offer a different amount, simply type what your heart desires. Remember well, I receive with immense love only what fits within your sincere will and your peace. No matter the amount in the limited eyes of the world, the little you offer in faith can mean a great deal to those who receive this message of hope in a moment of utter darkness. If you decide to sow today, don't forget to include your name and city with your contribution. On the first day of the following month, I will create a unique and special moment here on our channel, Divine Love, the Voice of God, where your name will be mentioned in gratitude and covered with divine blessings released in fervent prayer. For it is written in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7, "Each one should give what he has decided in his heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for the Lord loves a cheerful giver." Every offering made in faith is a precious seed before me, your Lord, and I will not fail to make any of them bear fruit in the soil of your life. I see what you do in secret, and I will reward you in the sight of all. Stay until the end of this message, because I still want to touch your heart with my voice. If this call touched your soul, show your affection by liking it. What do you feel will flourish in your life after this gesture? Share this video with 3 people who also need an awakening, and write in the comments your affirmation of ownership. I am blessed. But know that while you take care of what is mine, I have already positioned armies that your eyes cannot yet see, but that are already fighting for you. You sit at that table, and for a moment, the weight of your thoughts seems more real than the wood beneath your hands. I saw when you organized everything, carefully placed the silverware, but your appetite was taken away by an anguish that has no name, only a face. In the silence of your room, where only the noise of the refrigerator or the ticking of the clock on the wall insist on breaking the emptiness, you felt unprotected. The feeling was that any stronger wind could knock down the structure you took years to build. But open the eyes of your soul now, because while you were crying over your plate, I was giving specific instructions concerning you. Around that same table where you feel abandoned, I have positioned sentinels of light. They are not there merely to observe your pain, but to ensure that no arrow of despair pierces your chest while you are vulnerable. I saw the trembling in your hands as you held the glass of water, and I saw when you closed your eyes, wishing the day would simply end. What you call loneliness, I call a sanctuary of protection. I have surrounded your house, your windows, and every entrance to your life with armies that the world cannot see and that darkness dares not touch. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 7, "The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and delivers them." This is not a distant promise from ancient times. It is the reality of what is happening now, between your living room sofa and your kitchen door. Each sentinel I have posted around you has the mission of guarding your destiny. They are there to prevent the voices of accusation from entering your territory and to whisper to your spirit that the owner of the universe is seated at the table with you, even if you cannot yet see my face. If you feel that gentle shiver now, like a touch of peace that makes no sense in the face of chaos, know that it is the presence of my messengers confirming that you are safe. If this certainty of protection has warmed your heart, let your like be a seal that you accept my army. Let me ask you something that touches the depths of your being. In the midst of your greatest fear, who do you feel has been the true guardian of your soul? Share this video with someone who feels helpless today. And write here in the comments the word of your security, my guardian. But know that besides protecting your table, I am refining your hearing, because amidst so many voices surrounding you, there is a discernment that is only born in the silence of the desert, and that you are about to discover. The silence of the early morning often brings the highest questions to your spirit, and I see when you toss and turn in bed, seeking a peace that the world outside has not to offer you. In those moments, when the weight of weariness seems to press down on your chest, and the shadows of doubt try to convince you that you are walking aimlessly, I am there, right beside you, whispering that my presence is the only constant you will never need. But I perfectly understand that your human heart, so wounded by recent disappointments, often seeks a closer path, a light that can be held when the night seems too long and the desert around you seems endless. It is in this intimacy, in the secret of our deepest encounters, that I want to offer you a safe haven and a remedy for your daily thoughts. If your heart desires to go deeper with me now, I have left you a gift in the form of a journey that I wrote with much love and care for each of my beloved daughters and sons, the digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was carefully prepared to be your constant companion and a balm for your wounds, to strengthen you day after day, in silence and in an intimacy that the noise of other voices will never be able to break. Access to this journey of light is also available to you in the link in the description of this video, and in the first comment I left pinned. And if today is not possible for you, do not allow guilt or burden to reach your mind. Remain with me here, for I will also sustain you with every word of this message until the very last second, and so that your heart may rest and not get lost in unnecessary confusion or worries. Know that, soon after you register, full access will arrive directly at the email address you registered in the system. There you will find all the instructions explained in a very simple, step-by-step way, so that you can begin this journey of restoration and daily companionship with me today. For it is written in Psalm 119, verse 15, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light for my path." This light is what will give you the strength to continue when everyone else turns away. If you feel that my voice is what keeps you standing, cherish this moment so that more souls may find this refuge. Follow this channel as an act of surrender and share this video with those you know who cry silently in the early hours of the morning. Before we continue, in the depths of your silence, what is your heart pleading with me now? Write in the comments the word that seals our union, presence. Take a deep breath now, for the discernment I will give you in the midst of this desert is what will prevent you from falling into the traps of those who pretend to be by your side. I brought you here where the landscape is bare and the horizon seems infinite, not so that you would die of thirst, but so that your hearing would be purified. You felt the hot sand beneath your feet and the scorching sun punishing your face as you tried to understand why the companions of before disappeared like smoke in the wind. In the desert, my daughter, there are no distractions. The noise of crowds, the opinions of others, and the advice of those who have never carried your burden cease completely. It is in this absolute emptiness that true discernment begins to blossom in your soul. Many times, you have surrounded yourself with people who spoke sweet words, but whose intentions were like hidden thorns. You felt exhausted, with heavy eyes and a clouded mind, without realizing that you were being drained by those who only sought what you could offer, without ever planting anything in your soil. I allowed this desert to form around you so that the mirages would be unmasked. Now, when you look back, you can see who was truly there out of love and who was there out of convenience. Discernment is the gift I give to those who endure the silence without murmuring, for it is written in the first book of Kings, chapter 19, verse 12. After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire, and after the fire came the sound of a gentle whisper. It was in that whisper, amidst its greatest aridity, that I began to teach you to distinguish the wheat from the chaff. You no longer need to fear the solitude of the desert, for it was there that your vision became clear. Now you know how to identify the false brilliance of those who only want to shine at the expense of your light. Feel the peace that comes with this clarity. It is the sign that you will no longer be deceived by wolves in sheep's clothing. If you feel that the blindfolds have fallen from your eyes, and that today you can see the truth behind every gesture, enjoy this message as an act of gratitude for this new vision. Let my spirit continue to guide you to still waters. Tell me one thing. Of all the voices you have heard lately, which one do you now realize did not come from my heart? Share this awakening with someone who is still walking lost in mirages. And write in the comments your declaration of wisdom. I have discernment. But don't think that the desert is only a place of separation. It is also the cradle of a courage you never knew you possessed. Where fear once dwelt, something new is being built, and you will feel an impact in your heart as you discover what I am about to definitively remove from your story. I saw the early mornings when you felt the cold on your fingertips, even with your hands hidden under the blanket. The fear wasn't of the darkness outside, but of what the dawn might bring. More demands, more loneliness, another day pretending everything is all right while your inner world seems to crumble. I saw when you looked at that forgotten cup of cold coffee on the sink, feeling that your own life was losing its warmth and flavor. Fear found a home in you because, for too long, you built your foundations on the shifting sands of people's opinions that change with the wind. But today, I enter this room, I enter this kitchen, and I declare that the lease that fear had with your mind has been torn up by my own authority. Where once there was the echo of insecurity, I am planting the weight of my glory. The loneliness that frightened you was merely the space I was reserving, so that my voice could resonate uninterrupted in your spirit. I am rebuilding every emotional wall that has been torn down by curses and unexpected abandonments. For it is written in Psalm 27 verse 1, "The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life, of whom shall I be afraid? I am your unshakable fortress." When others let go of your hand, they did not leave you unprotected. They only made way for the only one who never fails to occupy the place of honor in your journey. Take a deep breath now. Feel the peace that I place upon your chest, removing that heavy burden that prevented you from breathing freely. Where fear dwelt, now there is an exclusive altar for my presence. If you feel the chains of fear breaking as you listen to my voice, let your like be a seal of liberation. Deep in your soul, what was the fear that most prevented you from resting in recent nights? Share this video with someone who lives imprisoned by the anguish of tomorrow, and write here in the comments the word of your new reality, my fortress. But don't be mistaken in thinking you'll have to keep watch alone to maintain this conquered territory. While you begin to enjoy this new shelter, I am mobilizing an army that fights precisely in your moment of greatest silence. While the world sleeps, and the silence of the early morning becomes the stage for your greatest internal battles, I am acting behind the scenes of your existence with an intensity that your natural eyes could never bear. I saw when you lay down yesterday, your body heavy with fatigue, and your mind teeming with the names of those who hurt you, who slandered you, or who simply turned their backs on you when the storm intensified. You felt small, disarmed, as if the enemy had surrounded every exit from your life. But listen carefully to what I have to reveal to you now. Your silence is not a sign of defeat. It is the space I requested, so that my army could enter the field without being interrupted by your own hands. Do you remember when the servant of the prophet Elisha woke up early in the morning and saw the city surrounded by enemy chariots and horses? He panicked, shouting for help, because he could only see the physical threat. He saw the danger, he saw the disadvantage, and he saw certain death. But Elisha, with the calm of one who knows the master of the army, prayed that the young man's eyes would be opened. For it is written in the second book of Kings, chapter 6, verses 16 and 17. He answered, "Do not be afraid, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them." Then Elisha prayed, "Lord, I pray, open his eyes that he may see." Then the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. At this very moment, as you listen to my voice, I am doing the same for you. I am opening your spiritual vision so that you may perceive that for every tongue that has risen against you, there are 10,000 mighty angels guarding your name. For every door that men have closed in your face, There is a celestial battalion removing the obstacles from the path I have traced for your destiny. You do not fight alone. The trembling in your hands as you hold your cell phone searching for news is now replaced by my firm hand, which commands the hosts of heaven in your favor. What you call loneliness is, in fact, the tactical isolation I have created so that the enemy cannot touch the seed I have planted in your heart. Feel now the warmth of this protection that surrounds your home, from the gate to the foot of your bed. If you believe that you are not helpless and that heaven is moving for you, leave your like as a sign that you trust in my army. Let me ask you something profound. In what area of your life do you most need me to send my chariots of fire now? Share this video with someone who feels cornered by problems, and write here in the comments the word of your victory, faithful army. But know that this protection is not just a passing event. What I have established with you goes far beyond a battle won. It is an eternal bond that human hands have tried, but will never be able to break. Have you ever felt the weight of a promise that vanished like smoke through your fingers? I saw it when you clasped your hands together, feeling the cold metal of a key that no longer opens the door you so longed for, or the emptiness of a space on the shelf where a photograph once hung. A look that now hurts. The world is an expert in fragile contracts and words that change as the wind of convenience blows in another direction. But I am not like the men who lie, or like the sons of men who regret what they promised on the altar of their pain. Many have tried to untie the bonds I created with you, whispering that your time has passed or that your mistakes were greater than my faithfulness. They tried to convince you that if people left, it was because I also left you. A lie. What I pledged to you was not written with ink that fades with the rain of tribulations, nor with feelings that ebb and flow like the tides. Our covenant was sealed in the silence of an empty tomb and in the victory cry that echoed throughout eternity. For it is written in the letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verses 38 and 39. For I am convinced that neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord. Take hold of this absolute truth like one who holds an iron railing in the midst of an earthquake. No human hand, however strong, has the power to snatch you from my palm. If someone let go of your hand along the way, it was only because they lacked the strength to bear the weight of the glory that our covenant will manifest from now on. I am restoring your identity as an heiress, as the chosen one, as someone who has a pact with the owner of gold and silver. Feel the strength of this bond now like an anchor that descends to the depths of your soul, ensuring that you will not be swept away by any storm. If this certainty that nothing can separate us has brought a sigh of relief to your heart, let your like be an act of surrender. If you could tell me something now, with all your soul. What is the greatest proof of love you have ever received from me in secret? Share this word with someone who feels forgotten by everyone, and write here in the comments the mark of our pact, eternal alliance. But understand that this alliance is not just to keep you safe where you are. It is the foundation for a new time that I am inaugurating. The empty chairs at your table were not a mistake. They were the space I reserved for the true connections that I am sending your way right now. Look at those empty chairs around your table. For a time, their silence seemed like a cry of rejection, a constant reminder of who decided to leave when their winter arrived and the flowers of their life withered. You felt exposed, as if their departure was a sentence on your worth. But I tell you today, with the authority of one who knows the end from the beginning, I myself moved those chairs aside. I myself untied the knots of hands that only squeezed you to drain you. I did this so that you could finally breathe without the weight of dishonesty and manipulation disguised as companionship. Now, the time of painful cleansing is giving way to the time of harvesting connections that were forged on my own altar. I am moving, at this very moment, the hearts of people you don't yet know, but who already carry in their spirits the same seal of pain and overcoming that I placed on yours. Imagine an encounter where you won't need to measure your words for fear of being misunderstood. Imagine an afternoon where your weariness is embraced with a hug that asks for nothing in return, and where your story is honored like a sacred book, not used as ammunition in side conversations. I am sending you friends who are like balm for wounds that still burn, people who will have the divine sensitivity to perceive the sparkle in your eyes even before you finish the first sentence. For it is written in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 9, "Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor." Imagine this scene I'm preparing for you. You sitting on a simple porch at dusk, feeling the warmth of a mug in your hands, and conversing with someone who understands your silence as well as your words. There will be no masks, no need to prove you're strong all the time. This is the new cycle I'm inaugurating in your social and family life. I am restoring your faith in loyalty through human beings whom I myself have refined in the fire of trial to be by your side now. Prepare the table, for the sound of a new knock at your door will not be a warning of debt or problems, but the beginning of a communion that will have my smile as its center. If your heart yearns for this time of peace and for friendships that don't tire you, but renew you, leave a like as a sign that you accept my guests. Subscribe to continue hearing the instructions I give to my chosen ones. Tell me honestly, do you feel ready to leave the past in the grave and open the door of your life to the new things I'm sending? Share this promise with a soul that also feels forgotten in the desert of loneliness. And write here in the comments the mark of your expectation: new connections. But before the sun sets on this conversation of ours, there is one last word that I have saved exclusively to seal everything we have done here today. A spiritual key that I mentioned at the beginning, and that will change your posture in the face of any battle that tries to rise against you tomorrow. Here we are, just you and I, in this sacred place where time seems to have stopped so that your soul could finally breathe in peace. I saw every minute you spent attentive to my voice and felt every accelerated beat of your heart as you realized that you were never, not for a second, truly alone. The people who left your life, those you considered essential to your journey, took with them only what was temporary and heavy. But I, who am the Alpha and the Omega, remain here, holding your hand with a strength you haven't yet fully understood. Look at the scars of past disappointments and realize they are not marks of defeat, but living proof that you survived winters that should have frozen you forever. I am the one who was in your room when the lights went out and your tears were muffled by the pillow. I am the one who gave you breath when you felt your air was running out in the face of the demands and abandonment of the world. Do not fear tomorrow, nor the shadows that try to rise against your destiny, for I am already there in the future, organizing every detail and preparing the banquet in the presence of your adversaries. As it is written in the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 10, "Fear not, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Remember that spiritual key I mentioned when we began this meeting. The answer your soul desperately sought is held within this truth that I now whisper to the deepest part of your spirit. Receive it as the seal of your ultimate victory and the unbreakable armor for your new days of light. The phrase that will change your posture in the face of any battle is this: I can do all things through him who strengthens me. I want you to write this phrase right now in the comments. Don't see it as a simple set of words, but as an act of prophetic faith, declaring to the entire spiritual universe that your strength does not depend on human hands, false friendships, or favorable circumstances, but on the throne of grace that sustains you. By writing, I can do all things through him who strengthens me, you are sealing my power working amidst your weaknesses and accepting that I am the one who is truly by your side. Continue immersing yourself in my voice and allow me to guide you to new horizons of peace. There is much more I wish to reveal to you and paths of tranquil waters that I have carefully prepared for you to travel. Look for the list of messages and the playlist on this channel, and let me continue speaking to your heart, day after day, until all old pain is just a distant memory of the glory that has manifested today. I still have secrets of love to tell you in our next conversation. I am the hand that holds you in the abyss, and the light that dispels all your darkness. Open your eyes to the new life that I have prepared exclusively for you. Rest now, my beloved daughter, for today your desert has finally blossomed.